Welcome back to Just One Question, which sometimes becomes two or more. I make no promises about this, but especially in this case, because this is such a thrill to have our next guest on the program with me. It is Laura Bratton, and Laura is a very special human being whom I've been honored to get to know and to work with. At the age of 9, Laura was diagnosed with an eye disease and faced the difficult reality that she would soon become blind. She was the first blind person to graduate with a Masters of Divinity degree from Princeton Theological Seminary, which is pretty fantastic. And her purpose is to empower individuals with grit and gratitude as they adapt to change, something which she would know something about. So, Laura, how the heck are you right now?
Great. Thank you for this time.
Oh, I am delighted to do this and honored. So let's get right into it with the question. You recently took some time with me and the rest of the team at TEDx Walden Pond to create and deliver a TEDx speech. And if you go to, and we'll put the link in for Laura's speech, but if you spend any time on the TEDx website and you check out some of these videos, what you see is a 10 to 20 minute video, depending on when it was recorded. And you don't see the hours and hours of work of preparation behind it. It takes a lot of dedication to bring a TEDx speech to the screen, ultimately, where you see it. And so, Laura, tell us, what was that like, and why did you think, or why did you persevere and do this despite all those challenges of developing the content and memorizing it and practicing delivery and all that? It's a lot of work. What was worthwhile about it?
So the motivation, what made it worthwhile for me, is to take a very complex situation and life experience and distill it down into 10 minutes, like you were saying. It's a very practical takeaway so that anyone in any challenge that they're experiencing could take what I said in those 10 minutes and apply it to their own life. So it was very practical.
Certainly something we would look to you for, given that you dealt with a much more difficult change than most of us have to deal with. And so give us a taste of the TEDx talk, just a hint, so that we want more. We go watch the talk itself, but give us a hint. What was the hardest thing about the change at age 9? What was the first thing you learned about it that was difficult and challenging?
Yeah, the hardest part was learning resources and creating that mindset and foundation from a mental perspective of how do I adapt to this change? It's so big. It affects every single area of my life. How do I navigate forward? So that was the biggest challenge, and that's what led to the TEDx talk.
It doesn't give anything away to say that what you talk about is gratitude. How did you get from the shock of losing your sight to discovering that gratitude was somehow going to be helpful?
It wasn't overnight by any means. A mentor of mine suggested gratitude. My first thought was absolutely not. There's no way that could be a healing resource or give me any sort of strength or courage to navigate through. So in my stubbornness, I was determined to prove her wrong and found out she was right. I was completely, totally wrong.
And how much does that bring you today that you were wrong and she was right?
I think about it every single day.
You are now, you go around the planet, or at least parts of it, speaking about your experience and about gratitude. What's that like? What's it like to stand up in front of an audience that you can't see and talk to about gratitude?
It's incredibly empowering. And what I mean by that, it's empowering because for me to be able to take the foundation of gratitude that I live with and live by and use every single day, to take that foundation, empower other people with that as they go through their change, however small, however big, whatever the situation is, if they can benefit from also using gratitude as a healing resource, that's a source of empowerment.
That's wonderful. Laura, it is always good to chat with you. It is always good to have the chance to connect. And I learn something every time we talk. So thank you so much for being on Just One Question. And thank you for delivering a truly empowering and wonderful TEDx talk. And thank you for your courage every day.
Thank you for the opportunity.